Yes, we've looked at what we call fairly elastic supply, isn't it? Fairly elasticity. Now we're going to look at what we call unity or unitary. We looked at fairly elastic and what fairly inelastic, is it not? In fairly elastic, we say that little change in price causes large amount of change in quantity. Whereas in fairly inelastic, we say that what large change in price leads to what little or small change in quantity supplied. Now, in a situation where we have equal change in price leads to equal change in quantity supplied. Is that clear? If there is 1% change in price, there is also 1% change in quantity supply. When you have such situation, call it what? Unity elastic or unitary elastic supply. Is that clear? This happens when a change in price leads to an what? Equal change in quantity of goods supplied. Is that clear? They are equal. So that if you have 10 change in price, you also have what? 10 change in quantity supply. 10 divided by 10 is what? 1, is it not? So the elasticity here is equal to what? 1. Is that clear? So that is when we have what we call unity or what? Unitary elasticity. So how do you see it? Can you see P1 to P2? Can you see the distance between P1 and P2 is almost equal to the distance between what? Q1 and Q2. Is that clear? So you take note of this. Whenever you have the distance equal, then you know you're having what? Unity or what? Unitary elastic supply. Is that clear? And that brings us to the other type of elasticity of supply, known as what? Perfectly what? Elastic or infinitely elastic what? Supply. When does this happen? This happens when a change in price brings about what? Infinite effect on the what? Quantity of goods supply. Just small change in price, quantity of supply infinitely, it goes without ending. Can you see it? This one is like this, so this one brings about it, this one brings about it, but this one is infinite. When you change the price from 10 naira to what? 11 naira. Now, instead of initial quantity they were supplying when the price was 10 naira, they were supplying 50 pieces of marker when the price is what? 10 naira. Now they went and made the price 11 naira. Exactly. The price now is 11 naira. So instead of supplying 50 pieces or 51 pieces, they are now supplying 1 million pieces because of just small change in price from 10 naira to what? 11 naira. At the price of 10 naira, they were supplying how many? 50 pieces. Then at the price of 11 naira, they are supposed to supply maybe 55 or 51. But now they are supplying how many? 1 million or 2 million. Just because of that 1 naira increase. People now say, hey, this thing is now yielding gain. Let's keep supplying it so that we can be selling and be making profit. You understand? The change or the difference in the quantity supply is so large. Then we have what we call what? Perfectly what? Elastic supply. Is that clear? Now we look at the last. Now we do what? We look at the last. And the last is what we call what? Perfectly in what? Inelastic. Or you can call it what? Zero what? Zero elastic what? Supply. This is the last form of elasticity of supply. When does this happen? When a change in price has no effect whatsoever on the quantity of goods
as a fuel for racing
supplied.
for racing cars, those cars.
Here,
For
elasticity
racing cars and rockets.
is equal to 0.
And rockets.
How do you represent it in a graph?
Racing cars.
You have here as 0 and you have here as what? Price. And you have here as what?
Because of its
Quantity
very
what?
low- Because of its
Supply.
very low freezing point.
It goes like this. When there is what?
Freezing point. That's another freezing point.
QO
Because of its very low freezing point.
S E
Because of its
is
very
equal
low
to 0.
freezing point.
That is the representation. Pay attention.
Ethanol is used as an antifreeze.
Can you see this situation?
Automobiles. As an
When
anti-
a change in price has what? No effect whatsoever on the quantity of goods supplied.
automobiles. In
The price of this is 100 naira. And I'm the supplier. Because it's 100 naira, I'm supplying 50 pieces of it to the market so that people can buy, so that somebody like you can buy. Now there is a change in price of this from 100 naira to what? 200 naira. Is that clear? I'm still supplying 50 pieces. They change the price to 1,000 naira. You know I'm supposed to supply more so that I'll make more game. I still supply 50 pieces. I did not change the supply. You understand? No matter the change in price of this, I'm still supplying only what? 50 pieces. In that case, the kind of elasticity is what we call what? Perfectly inelastic. That means change in price does not affect the quantity supply. So that's why I say when the change in price has no effect whatsoever on the quantity of goods supplied, then we are having what we call what? Perfectly what? Inelastic. In that case, elasticity is equal to what? 0. And this is how you represent it in a graph. Is that clear? The quantity remains what? Constant. No matter the price. Even if the price moves from here to here, the quantity is still the same thing. Q0. It doesn't change from Q0. It remains. Is that clear? That is what we know as what? Perfectly what? Inelastic. Another word for perfectly inelastic supply is what? Zero elasticity of what? Supply. Is that clear? Write it down.